For those of you who are parents, we know how being a working parent can be very challenging. So how about working moms raising young kids? So as we know, working and carrying young kids is such an experience in a woman's life. The stress, struggle to manage a million tasks, and still to be the best mom possible. So my calling is working with you to build a community of strong and happy working moms. Let's now get some inside secret from somebody who is a talented expert, Stephen Whiteley. He is the author of Happiness Works, a mentor, a speaker, a remarkable coach. He's going to share with us his knowledge. He understands the battle of working moms. He has the answer, so stay tuned. Stephen, welcome. I'm so excited to have you today.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Lucy. It's my pleasure.
So, how are you?
I am feeling grand, thank you. Just love helping people clean up their lives.
Fantastic. Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So I used to be a fighter pilot in the Royal Canadian Air Force. And as a fighter pilot and a leader, I had a lot of responsibility. And this, of course, made me into a person who was very productive. And being productive was a great way to be. At the same time, I was having some marital conflict at home. And this was not the kind of life that I was thinking I was going to lead. And so what happened was I needed to heal myself in order to make things work. And so I learned to shift my own mindset. And as a result of that, I came to understand what life is really about. And as a result of that, I have now separated from my wife, which is not always the best solution. But if one person is growing and the other person thinks they can remain the same, which is not possible, we have two directions we can go in. We can either develop or we can decline. And so I watched that decline for 18 years. And finally, I got tired of being blamed for everything and I left. So now I've healed almost all of that stress out of me that I got from there. And I just love helping other people do the same.
Fantastic. Fantastic. This is awesome. So, we'd like now to hear more about your experience, and I'll ask just a very basic question. How do you balance work and your personal life? As you know, and as I mentioned, working moms with young kids are often exhausted. Sometimes they experience burnout. So, what are the tips, tools that they can use to achieve a balanced life?
Yes, exactly. This is. So there's one key tool that is really critical to sustained long-term performance. And the name of that tool is self-care. And if we don't do self-care, then that's a road to burnout, because nobody can do self-care for us. We are the only ones that can do that. So what we need to do is we need to carve out some time in our day and to make sure that we have the plan and the resources required in order to do our self-care. So there might be times in your life where self-care is just peace of mind, a warm blanket, and a warm cup of tea. But that is not a long-term solution. What you also want to do is stay fit and healthy, because health leads to wealth. And if you want to stay healthy, then you must do balance fitness, relationships, and nutrition. And you can eat things that are nutritious and delicious. So most of us think that we're just a body, or maybe a body and a mind. But the truth is, everybody is a body, a mind, a heart, and a soul. Now, not many of us think about the heart and soul. But what I have found is that when you approach this equation from the soul end, and you think first of the soul and then the heart, then the whole thing gets a whole lot easier and better. And so when I say to come from the soul, what I mean is this. When you discover what is your soul's purpose for being here, then this gives you the motivation that is deeply lasting. And so when you're on your soul's purpose, you're on the road to fulfillment. I read a study not long ago that says that 97% of people die in regret. And I think that is such a shame. And so my aim is to help more people to escape that and live in fulfillment. And for fulfillment, what you need is purpose, which leads to passion.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you for these great tips. You know, I will emphasize on particularly in the same subject. As you know, we're going through the messy moment and the chaos during this pandemic, the COVID-19, as you know. So how working moms can work with those emotions to move forward, and what specific strategies and tools are particularly useful for keeping calm and carrying on?
Yes, indeed. So, a really important thing is, if you have a partner, is to agree a way to split your days so that each of you can spend some time with the children. And depending on the age of the children, of course, makes a huge difference in how much time they need. When they're very little, then they need you almost full time. They need somebody full time. And as they grow older and they get into their teen years, they don't even want you anymore. So it's important to always be mindful of what their requirements are for the particular age group they're in. And if you have a partner, to really make an agreement on who is going to work with them when, and who's going to provide which parts of their requirement when. So that's one part. If you're on your own with children, then it's more challenging, but still possible. What's important then is helping them to understand about money, about work, and about boundaries. And so you need to get good at drawing your boundaries. You need to explain to them at the fact that we use money in our society to get what we want. The more money we have, the more things we can get that we want. If we don't have money, then we're very restricted in how we operate. And so for that reason, money is important. And money isn't just given, money is earned. And so you provide value to get that value back. And so you provide value through your work. And it's important that they understand that there are times for work and times for play. And if you're really smart, then you'll make your play into work. In the sense that if you think about play, it's thinking and moving. And if you think about work, it's thinking and moving. And so why not make your work play and make your play play? And so you play your life all day long. And when you do that, it's much less demanding. It's much more invigorating. And you can really have a good time as you're producing. And you'll find that as you do that, you'll have more access to new ideas. You'll have more access to new ideas, and intuition will be more switched on, and you'll have way more energy to continue. So making work into play is a really important strategy.